Good morning. Welcome again to Morning Devotions, and thank you again so much for spending time with us today. I'd like us to go over to Matthew chapter 17 for our devotional thought today, to the Mount of Transfiguration. And my little thought for you today is simply this: be quiet and listen. Last weekend in the service, I taught you from Ecclesiastes that when we go up to God's house, we draw near to listen. When we come into the presence of God, when we see God do miracles, that's not the time to run off at the mouth. That's the time to be still and listen. Peter said to Jesus, "Lord," verse 4, "it is good for us to be here. If you wish, I'll put up 3 shelters, one for you and one for Moses and one for Elijah." While he was still speaking, a bright cloud enveloped them, and a voice from the cloud said, "This is my Son whom I love. With him I am well pleased. Listen to him." When the disciples heard this, they fell face down to the ground, terrified. But Jesus came up and touched them. "Get up," he said. "Don't be afraid." When they looked up, they saw no one except Jesus. I can remember the first time I read this passage as a baby Christian. I sat down and laughed out loud. I thought, Lord, how just like us is this passage? We see something, and forgive me, sometimes I feel like Peter. I'm a man of action. I see something that needs to be done. Can I go do it? Can I go do it? Can I go do it? And sometimes God doesn't want us to go do anything. He wants us just to listen. We see God beginning to move, and He doesn't want us to do anything. He doesn't need us to do anything. He wants us to just listen. My brothers and sisters, please, draw near to listen. You're going to find that your God is not so much interested in what you can produce for Him and what you can accomplish for Him as He is interested in you. And He wants to teach you, and He wants to lead you, and He wants to guide you. So when you see God beginning to move, don't be so quick to think of all the things that you can do now. Just sit back, and as Ecclesiastes says, when you come to the house of God, draw near to listen.